Hi, thanks so much for joining in. You're watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit. My name is Alex Matthew, and this morning, action in the primary markets are absolutely red hot. In fact, you have a couple of listings that are in focus today, one of which is HDB Financial. It has listed at a premium. There's also Sambhav Steel, which is in focus, and what a listing pop it has gotten. Let's pull that chart up. It's up about 21%, 22% at this point, but it's off the high point of the day. It listed actually with gains of over 30%. We're joined by the management this morning, Suresh Goel, who is the chairman and executive director of Sambhav Steel, as well as Vikas Goel, who's the managing director and chief executive officer of Sambhav Steel. So, gentlemen, पहले मैं आपको बधाई देता हूँ. Congratulations on a great listing. Let me start by asking you, Suresh ji, can you give us a timeline on utilization of the funds and what you're going to be using it for? As I understand it, it's going to primarily go towards repayment and reduction of debt.
Yeah, Vikas?
We are going out of 440 crores, 390 crores of the repayment of the debt and 50 crores for the general corporate fund. So now we are virtually debt free and our PAT will be increased. That is our now outcome of the IPO and we are very happy. हम आज बहुत खुश हैं कि आज हम NSE के प्लेटफॉर्म पे आए. हमने आज बेल रिंगिंग की और आज हमारे एक नए जीवन की शुरुआत हुई इस नए जीवन पे. और हमारे सभी इसमें हमारे पूरे परिवार का, पूरी टीम का और पूरे हमारे स्टेक होल्डर्स का मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ और सबका योगदान से ये संभव हो पाया.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ मैं सभी का. और बात जब करते हैं हम संभव की, तो संभावनाएं देखकर उनको संभव बनाना ही हमारा प्रयास है.
क्या बात है, आपने तो टैगलाइन दे दिया इसमें. संभव स्टील का टैगलाइन, ये नया टैगलाइन होगा सर. हाँ सुरेश जी.
जी पुनीत जी.
ओके
सर.
तो
टैगलाइन क्या है सर? एक्चुअली मन में भरोसा है जी.
बोलिए सर.
हाँ जी, मन में पूरा भरोसा है पुनीत जी कि हम जो है वो संभावना को देखकर संभव बनाएंगे और हम जो विश्वास रखते हैं कि सब संभव है और संभावनाएं जहाँ पे हैं, जहाँ पे देश की तरक्की है, वहाँ पे हम हर उस कोशिश जो करेंगे जिससे हम देश के साथ में जुड़ सकें और देश की सेवा कर सकें.
सुरेश जी और विकास जी, आप दोनों को बहुत बधाई आईपीओ की. हमने पिछली बार बात की थी जब आपका पहला दिन था आईपीओ का खोलने का, तो तभी हमने बिजनेस की काफ़ी बात की थी. आज थोड़े नंबर्स की भी बात कर लेते हैं. आपने बोला था कि आप इससे अपना बहुत सारा डेट चुका देंगे 390 करोड़ का. उससे आपको इंटरेस्ट कॉस्ट की काफ़ी सेविंग्स होगी. तो क्या हम उम्मीद कर सकते हैं कि 70 to 80 बेसिस पॉइंट या 1% की सीधा इम्पैक्ट आएगा आपके एबिडा पे FY26 में? क्या वो हम संभावना रख सकते हैं?
सर एबिटा तो हमारा पैट बढ़ जाएगा हमारा, क्योंकि हमारा इंटरेस्ट की कॉस्ट जो है वो कम हो जाएगी. और आज लगभग हमारा जो रीपेमेंट होने के बाद जो इन इस सेकेंड क्वार्टर में हमारा पैट बढ़ जाएगा. और ऑफ कोर्स जो हमने लास्ट ईयर जो हमने कैपिटल हमारी यूटिलाइज जो फैसिलिटीज़ हमने इंस्टॉल की थी उसका यूटिलाइजेशन भी इस साल हमारा बढ़ रहा है क्वार्टर टू क्वार्टर, तो उसका भी जो एबिटा भी हमारा बढ़ेगा. जी
जी, मुझे बस आपके कैपेसिटी के बारे में पूछना था. आपने पिछली बार बात की थी कि आप काफ़ी नए प्रोडक्ट्स में भी जा रहे हैं. करंटली ओवरऑल आपकी कैपेसिटी कितनी है आज की तारीख में?
जी सर, आज 350,000 टन हम स्टील स्ट्रक्चरल स्टील पाइप्स बना रहे हैं. 60,000 टन स्टेनलेस स्टील एंड 1 लाख टन प्री गैल्वनाइज्ड कॉइल एंड पाइप्स. तो जो प्री गैल्वनाइज्ड पाइप्स एंड स्टेनलेस स्टील हमने लास्ट ईयर ही शुरू किया है नवंबर में, तो अभी उसका हम बेटर यूटिलाइजेशन इस साल कर पा रहे हैं. जी.
और सर आपकी ओवरऑल यूटिलाइजेशन आपने बताया तीन प्रोडक्ट्स में आपकी कैपेसिटी कितनी है? इनकी सबकी यूटिलाइजेशन 60 से 70% की होगी अभी, बिकॉज आपके आईपीओ में आप काफ़ी डेट पेमेंट कर रहे हो और काफ़ी जनरल कॉर्पोरेट पर्पस के लिए, तो आपकी यूटिलाइजेशन मैं अनुमान करो कि 50-60-70% होगी. तो अभी वो कितनी यूटिलाइजेशन और आप क्या उम्मीद कर रहे हो कि वो कितनी जाएगी अगले 12 से 18 महीने में?
सर हमारा प्रयास ये, हमारा जो अगर 3 साल का आप रिकॉर्ड देखेंगे तो 70 से 75% हमने फिनिश गुड पे हमारा यूटिलाइजेशन अचीव किया है, और अभी नए प्रोडक्ट्स पे रैंप अप हमारा हो गया है। तो इस साल भी हम मानते हैं कि हम 70 से 75% ओवरऑल जो है हमारा यूटिलाइजेशन परसेंटेज रहेगा।
ओके, और आपके ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड के हिसाब से जो वॉल्यूम ग्रोथ है, अगर वो आप बता पाएंगे, और जिस प्रकार से आप यूटिलाइजेशन करंटली कर रहे हैं, उसके हिसाब से आपको लगता है कि अगले 3 साल में आपको कैपेसिटी बढ़ाना पड़ेगा?
देखिए, इसके अंदर में कैपेसिटी की जब बात करते हैं हम, तो हमारी इंस्टॉल कैपेसिटी जो है उसका हम बेहतर यूटिलाइजेशन कर पा रहे हैं। और हमारी जो तीसरी यूनिट अभी लगाने जा रहे हैं हम 1.2 मिलियन टन की, जो 3 स्टेप्स में लगेगी, जिसका हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि दिसंबर 2026 तक हम पूरा प्रोडक्शन ले आएंगे, हम कमीशन कर लेंगे उसको। तो उसके बाद हमारी कैपेसिटी भी और इंक्रीज़ हो जाएगी और हम और बेहतर रिजल्ट की और बढ़ जाएंगे।
बस सुरेश जी, एक आखिरी सवाल। आपने पिछली बार बताया था कि आप स्टेनलेस स्टील में भी आपका एक प्रोडक्ट रेडी है और आप वो कैपेसिटी भी इंक्रीज कर रहे हैं आगे जाके। करंटली स्टेनलेस स्टील में से आपका रेवेन्यू परसेंटेज कितना आता है? क्या आपको लगता है 10% आपका स्टेनलेस स्टील से आ जाता है अभी, और वो कहाँ जाएगा अगले 2 से 3 वर्षों में?
जी विकास
सर, तभी हमारा जो अगर लास्ट ईयर की हमारी जो बैलेंस शीट हमने जो दिसंबर तक की दी है उसमें तो बहुत कम यूटिलाइजेशन रहा है, लेकिन अभी हम ये मानते हैं कि इस साल लगभग हमारा 30% जो है वो स्टेनलेस स्टील से हमारा रेवेन्यू जनरेट होगा। और आगे जब हम कैपेसिटीज़ हमारी इंक्रीज़ करेंगे, जैसा कि अभी बताया चेयरमैन साहब ने कि 1.2 मिलियन टन हम 3 फेसेस में लगा रहे हैं, जिसके फर्स्ट फेस में हमारी जो कैपेसिटी इंक्रीज़ होगी तो हम स्टेनलेस स्टील से हमारा रेवेन्यू लगभग 50% के आसपास हो जाएगा।
ओके, सुरेश जी, विकास जी, हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, और बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। सॉरी, मेरी हिंदी इतनी स्ट्रांग नहीं है, मैं फिर भी कोशिश कर रहा हूँ आपसे बात करने की, बट थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस।
जी जी,
थैंक यू सर,
थैंक यू,
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, बहुत बहुत थैंक यू।
Look forward to the next one. All right, there you go. So it's a new listing debutant on the stock exchanges, and just gives me an idea that I need to improve my ability to be multilingual, because this is really the story of the new corporate India. There are more regional players that are coming in and that are hitting the bourses and creating wealth for shareholders. There you go, 20.6% higher. And look forward to speaking to them in the near future to figure out what their plans are going forward as well. But it's time now to talk about Ask Profit. And by the way, standard message to you at the start. We've got a couple of ways for you to reach out to us. One is the message on the or the number on the top of the screen, which is where you can message us, and you also got the landline number on the bottom of the screen. I do want to point out that we will soon be speaking with the management of HDB Financial as well, so watch out for that at 10:45. You see that the message at the bottom of the screen. But let's get our experts in for the day. We've got Rajesh Agarwal as well as Vaishali Parekh joining in. Rajesh, you heard me floundering and struggling in Hindi, but really the point is that it's a good listing pop for Vaibhav, or rather Sambhav. What do you make of it, and would you buy at this point?
Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Vaishali. I saw, and it was a good try, I would say. You just floundered and subcomnied the word. Anyways, I understand how it happens. As far as Sambhav goes, I think listening to the management, it looked exciting, although we haven't gone through the numbers and all, as we haven't covered the stock in our IPO report too. So it would be difficult for me to comment at this point of time. But as far as listening to the management went, I think if they reduce the debt and the margins improve, and the way they are trying to increase their share of revenue from stainless steel, that's a good point, I would say. So if that happens, definitely, because stainless steel as we all know that they are good margin products adding to the bottom line. So that would be a great thing to watch out for, I would say.
Thank you for that, Rajesh. The next question is also a very interesting one. Siddharth from Kolkata is writing, and he's saying that he's holding AkzoNobel shares of 200 odd shares at 850 a piece, and wants to know if he can tender he should tender his share once the open offer gets triggered or not. It's not triggered yet, Rajesh, but do you think that is something that one must pick up right now, considering that Asian Paints also holds almost 4.5% in the company, and the question really is whether that company will tender its share in open offer or not. But as an individual, do you think that is the right thing to do?
See, it depends. Like at the time of the open offer, if the market price is lower than the offer price, then obviously one should tender. But going ahead with the kind of fundamentals this company has, Asco Noble, I would like to say, it's a good stock to hold for a long-term horizon. So, and we are turning bullish on the paint sector. We have recently come out with IC on Asian Paints too. So, just because of the crude factor and the fact that this entire sector has not done anything from the last so many quarters, I would say. So it's a good stock to hold for long term, but tendering or not would depend on the timing of the offer. When the market price, you have to compare whether the offer price is higher or lower on that point of time.
And he's sitting on quite a bit of gains. Siddharth is sitting on gains of over 5 lakh at this point. So it's a decision, it's a weighty decision to make. All right, we promised that we would be speaking with the management of HDB Financial Services. This is the new debutant on Dalal Street with gains of about 12.5% as we speak right now. And Vishwanath Nair, NDTV Profit's banking and economy editor at the NSE right now to speak to the management. Vishy, over to you.
Thanks, Alex. So we've got G. Ramesh, the MD and CEO of HDB Financial. You know, on the day of your listing, 12 to 13% listing pop, as they call it in the market. So how are you feeling? What exactly are you seeing? I mean, earlier we were talking. You said you were a little bit relieved now that this part of the journey is over at least.
Right. So this is the largest NBFC IPO till date, 12,500 crores. I'm also told that this is the largest amount of applications for $1 billion plus IPO. So first of all, thank you to all of you and to all the people who showed faith in our company. Thank you very much. Our company is fundamentally very strong, and we believe that, we have an ability to ride through cycles, make sure that our business works well.
I want to also talk to a little bit about this, the pricing discussion, right? Because that is a discussion that took center stage when you first announced your IPO. It's between 700 and 740. Now it's listed at over 830. I wanted to get a sense, this is probably where your unlisted shares were also trading, before the IPO announcement came in. Do you think that maybe this is sort of validation for you as well as those people outside who are dealing with a very small set of shares but still pricing the company at a certain level?
So our focus is on making sure that we create long-term value for the company. The process that we ran for discovering the price at the IPO, we believe, is the best practices that the industry follows, which is talking to investors, talking to anchors, and talking to bankers. So that's been done. And I think our focus as a company now is to make sure that we deliver the right level of corporate governance, deliver the right level of value to the stakeholders over the long term. We are a 17-year-old company, we're not a startup. Our focus has been on making sure that we have the right building blocks and make sure that we're building the company the right way.
So now the June quarter has ended. You're in a couple of weeks, there'll be time for you to report your first quarter results as a listed company, right, to the broader market. What are you hoping to deliver?
So, we have the timelines. We have a June deadline, and we're already on 2nd July. So we'll make sure in the next couple of weeks we put out our numbers.
In terms of numbers, what are you hoping to deliver?
I said we have fundamentally strong long-term growth story. That'll be intact.
Okay. I want to ask you a quick question around the current macroeconomic environment. While there is a lot of optimism, there is also a little bit of fear because of the uncertain global scenario, some amount of growth slowdown that has happened in the recent past. Does that show up anywhere on your business, in your business at this point in time? Are you seeing any kind of signs of a maybe slowing economy, or maybe or are you seeing the reverse, which is that things are actually looking like they're going to pick up?
So again, it's a business that goes through cycles, right? Our business goes through cycles, whether it's commercial vehicle sales or whether it's consumer sales or whether it's enterprises. When India grows well, there's demand for more capital. When India is growing slowly, obviously capital demand comes down. Is something that we're acutely conscious of, which is why we have a product portfolio approach, which is to say that which segment of the economy is likely to do well over the next 12-18 months, and can we allocate more capital to that business, and so that we can ride out cycles. I think over the last 17 years, we had at least 2-3 major events that we can talk about that we successfully rode through. Something that again, can't really give you guidance for a quarter of a year, but what we are sure is that our business is strong, capable of riding through cycles. We monitor it on a real-time basis.
I don't want financial guidance, but just a sort of flavor of the current macroeconomic scenario. Are you seeing more reasons to be happy about growth?
So there are signs that things are looking good. For example, I think monsoon is expected good this year. Some of the challenges that we have had last year, for example, was extreme heat. We didn't have that challenge this year. So those are things that we monitor. We monitor primary equipment sales and vehicle sales. We look at how much of cash flows really happening in the market. As I said, we are a company with deep distribution, presence in 1170 cities. So we have a real sense of what's really happening in the market, and we keep fine-tuning our business strategy to make sure that we are actually addressing the micro market, not at a country level, but at a micro market level.
There's a lot of focus around also where the regulators approach on bank-owned NBFCs is right, because of the draft guideline that is there in place. We don't have any visibility on when the final guidelines are coming in. But does that play into your future planning strategy at all?
So as we speak, it's a draft put up for discussion. With the IPO, the bank has actually managed to come to a 74% stake, which means that we met our minimum public listing compliances. So as we speak, the company will continue to be a subsidiary of the bank. As the regulatory landscape evolves, maybe we'll have to look at what are the options that we have.
One of the comments I was listening to what Shashida Jagdishan, the MD and CEO of HDFC Bank, had to say earlier today was that feels like their child has grown up now and then taking on the world at large. When you're seeing the relationship between the company and its parent, I know that there is no real business relationship between the two.
That's right.
But the fact is that they are a majority owner. Do you think that will also evolve now that you're a listed company and you will have your own compulsions as well going ahead?
Right. So I think the benefit of the bank has been really patient capital, right? I mean, they started the company in 2007. We're listing in 2025. So patient capital, certain standard of corporate governance that's expected out of HDFC group of companies, a certain framework in terms of how you manage your customer and your stakeholders, and your risk management processes. So that we expect to continue. We don't see that changing at all in terms of the ethos of the organization. But as I said, it's an independent business. Together with HDFC Bank and rest of the group companies, what we really hope to do is to address as many Indians as possible through our financial products which are of value. That will continue.
Okay. Is there a goal for expanding your market base at all, or are you happy with where you are? You have 31 states and you're present in all of them, and the presence is wide. But maybe because of business compulsions, do you think that maybe you need to tweak that at all in any fashion?
So. How many branches we put up, how many distribution points we put up is really a function of what we think is the core business strategy that we have. Now, one of the exercises that we do is actually look at primary sales of things like consumer durables, mobile phones, two-wheelers, and look at the tail and understand where is the growth coming from and how do we work with our partners to maximize their value. And that's, we don't think that the market is saturated yet. We don't think India is at a state where we've reached saturation.
Right.
So that will continue to happen. We'll continue to look at new ways of delivering products, at a value to our customers. That will continue.
Well, I want to ask you one last question. 2007, when you were in that conference room with Aditya Puri deciding on what this company is going to look like at the end of it, now 18 years or later, is this close to what you had imagined? A 1 lakh crore book in 18 years?
So, it's a journey. It's really not a goal. It's not an end we have in sight. But I think what we had very great clarity is that we will address a segment that's distinct from the bank, aspirational India, and I think that's something that we have built over the years and managed to deliver growth consistently and through cycles. I think that's something that we are very proud of.
All right, Mr. Ramesh, thank you so much for joining us on this conversation, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
All right, so that was G. Ramesh, the MD and CEO of HDB Financial.
Yeah, thanks so much, Vishy, for that, and interesting conversation. We'll know soon what the numbers stand at for the quarter gone by. The numbers will be out, as is the case for everybody else that is listed on the stock exchanges. Let's talk about the questions that have come through then, and there's an interesting one, and incidentally on HDB Finance as well as Sambhav, we've got Kishore Kumar and Shailaja who have both tuned in, I believe, from Bengaluru and Hyderabad, respectively. And what they're asking is, they're looking for that listing pop. At what point should they book? Rajesh, question is for you. I know that specifics maybe you cannot comment on Sambhav, but would you book out within the first month or so, and what levels would you look at to book?
See, in Sambhav, I would say at least book partial profit today.
Okay.
If not full, book partial profit. And there are better choices in the market in steel space as such. So why not book 21 22% profit at this point of time, maybe switch to some other company. But HDB, we are very bullish on that. One, because of the pricing, they have kept a lot of on the table for the investors, because we all know that in unlisted market, we were trading at 4 figures. And with the kind of company, strong parentage, the strong brand, risk management, high credit profile, and not to forget 1.9 lakh crore customers they have. They have diversified product portfolio, loan book is in excess of 1 lakh crore. I think this company can give you very good returns if you hold for at least 12 to 18 months. I won't be surprised if it moves to 4 figure. So it's a hold from our side. And after the cooling down of the IPO and all those things, if it comes down to maybe 780, 750 odd levels by any chance, that would be a good entry point too.
Okay, interesting. And Rajesh, you did mention what steel companies would you go ahead and buy right now?
See, in steel, if I have to look pure stainless steel, as the gentleman in Sambhav Steel we're talking about, so why not Jindal Stainless? That's a better company to go for in stainless steel products as such. And if I talk of pipes, you have a likes of Apollo or a Venus Tubes doing well at this point of time.
Yeah, Venus in particular is up and about in trade today, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. If we can pull up the stock.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Venus, yes.
5.6% as we speak. Interesting moves, and in fact it has upheld the kind of gains it has seen from the start of the trade, right? So significant amount of moves there. All right, the next question is on Infibeam Avenues. Kales ST is writing in. He's holding 5,000 shares of Infibeam Avenue, bought at 22 a piece. The stock is currently trading at 16, so sitting on significant amount of losses. Vaishali, hi, good morning. I'll come to you on this one. What are the charts indicating?
Hi, very good morning, all of you. So yes, there's nothing much happening in Infibeam. I think it is just on a corrective mode. Only consolation is that it has come towards a previous low. So 16 should be the support, and let's see if it bounces from there on. Till then, nothing really significant happening in this stock.
All right. So what would the advice be?
Keep a stop loss of 16 and hold.
Okay. All right. The next one's from Vadodara and Gujarat, your hometown. You want to take the question? Okay. Kaushik wants to know what to do with Shakti Pumps, bought at levels of 973, and he's got 15 shares, and he's not given us he's given us a time frame, long term. Rajesh, on the fundamentals, then Shakti Pumps bought very close to the current market price, maybe a little higher. Would you hold?
Yes, it's a hold from our side. The company has been doing well, getting good orders. And with the rural theme going forward, monsoon being good, around 105% of the average, I think it can move to around 1,020, 1,050 odd levels in the next 3 to 6 months. So it's a hold from us.
Hold on Shakti Pumps is the view that Rajesh has. All right, viewers, it's time to slip into a very short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back answering all your queries on the other side.
Imports become the exception rather than the norm, and increasingly we do almost last year, for example, of the contracts that we signed of record 2,09,000 crores, 81% was awarded to the domestic industry. Our intent is to manufacture in India, preferably with design also in India.
I am so elated to be on the same screen as the Defense Secretary, and I get a chance to talk about what he said.
In certain areas, like for example, artillery guns and armored vehicles, or in some categories of missiles like the BrahMos and the Akash, we've come of age.
What Defense Secretary Sir said is 100% true, and today private industry can really increase their involvement in R&D.
I am very proud to say that we make, in our categories that we have been supplying to our defense forces, some of the best platforms in the world.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims?
Hi, welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit. And by the way, I keep telling you about the show that is up next, which is Know Your Company. I like it a lot. And the reason I do is because it allows you to understand the very small details of one particular stock every day. It's run, of course, and driven by the research team of NDTV Profit. And there is a rating that you get at the end of the show that gives you an idea of whether or not you should continue to invest or to invest in a particular company. The stock today is JM Financial. And the reason why they're focusing on it is they're asking, is it a turnaround play? Should you participate in that turnaround story? And how do the valuations stack up against peers? We're also going to be speaking with Digant Haria, who's the founder of Green Edge Wealth, about what he makes of this company. So you can watch all of that at 11:30 this morning. I do want to take the next question, which incidentally, and I didn't plan it, it just happened that way, if you can believe it, is on JM Financial. And Satya from Bengaluru has bought JM Financial at a price of 136,000 shares. He hasn't given us a time frame, but he's wondering whether to book profits. Any view on this one, Rajesh?
I think one should try to book profit at this point of time. It has run up quite a lot in the recent past. And I would suggest a switch from JM Financial to a Geo Finance or a Poonawalla that's on a better stack. Even EB Capital is doing very well. So these are three better choices going forward at this point of time.
Book profits for JM Financials. All right. Next caller, Dheeraj is calling in from Hyderabad. Dheeraj, hi, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Good morning, ma'am. I purchased actually Narayana Hrudayalaya today morning.
Okay.
At 2070, 200 shares at 2070.
Okay.
So should I continue holding it for the very short term? As the stock corrected from its peak, I tried to use the opportunity, but it did not work well as of now.
Yeah.
So should I continue going it with, or should I shift to something like TCS, which touched around 3485, or VA Tech Babag?
Okay, got your question.
These two counters, should I go into something?
Understood. Can you define very short term for me?
1 month, ma'am.
1 month. Okay, Vaishali.
3 to 4 weeks.
Okay, got your question, Dheeraj. Vaishali, I'll take this up with you. 1 month is a good time period to continue to hold Narayana Hrudayalaya, or should you shift to counters that you mentioned?
Yeah, according to me, overall full hospital sector is doing well. So in between all these whipsaws can happen, and you cannot be so in a hurry, because then you have to time your entry level at the right time. So I would say right now, if he has already bought, keep a stop loss of 1950, because if it breaks, then there could be further corrective move. But otherwise, if I are looking at a long-term picture, I think the stock will continue to do well. So according to me, if it's for short-term, please keep a stop loss of 1950.
Okay. Prakash has got a question, and this is I'm going to make an exception because he points out that this is part of a portfolio rebalance. And he's wondering whether to fully exit a couple of his holdings from his long-term portfolio. One is CESC and the other is Tata Power, both of which are making a decent amount of profit. He's asking if we should exit and move to something in the defense space or in the NBFC space. What's the view, Rajesh, on the fundamentals and on the valuations, relatively speaking?
In fact, we have a buy call on both CESC and Tata Power. So that's the situation. So I would say stay put with this. Coming one by one, CESC is doing very well. The numbers have been decent. Capacity expansion has taken place, and they're doing well in Kolkata. Value, if you talk of valuation, it's trading at around 10 times earnings. So valuations are also very good, I would say. So it's a buy call from our side. And as far as Tata Power is concerned, it's a play on both conventional and renewable. And both have huge capacities, huge expansion plan belonging to a good group. So both are a buy from our side at this point of time. Somebody is holding can continue to hold. As far as switching to other sectors, I think if you have spare money, you can buy some amount of defense stock, despite the fact that they have run up quite a lot in the recent past. But still, going forward, long-term story looks intact because of the good order book they already have, and with the focus of government in giving new orders, international order coming in. So everything is going in favor of defense stock. And as far as NBFCs are concerned, we have already discussed that we have our likings of Poonawalla and Geo Finance or AB Capital. These are better picks in the entire space.
All right. So that's a comprehensive answer. Hopefully that answers your question and your portfolio rebalancing is successful. Actually, you don't have to, because it's a hold on both of the stocks that have been mentioned. All right. Murli is calling us from Bengaluru, as he usually does. Murli, very good morning to you today. How can we help you today?
Very good morning, and my wishes to group analysts and anchors. This query is a fundamental query on Rajesh Agarwal, my favorite analyst, fundamental analyst. Number one, I bought Prestige Estates.
Okay. 200
shares at the rate of 16.11.
Okay.
And a very high PE, very low, the ROE is very low, but still, the last few quarters, the results were below expectation due to approval pending from government. Once which expected the first quarter, so they are expected to have a better years ahead, 26 and onwards. Meaning, add more with a 15% return per annum. I'm willing to wait for long term. Or switch over to DLF or Oberoi Realty.
Okay.
Because Oberoi Realty has a better ROEs and financials. A similar book value. All our debt equity is very low.
Yes.
Murli, what should I do? 15% return per annum.
Yeah, Murli, since you, and I know that you do quite a bit of research before you buy, I'm just wondering, did you see the development that we spoke about on Keystone Realtors this morning? They have just gotten a project in Andheri. It's a cluster redevelopment. And have you studied any other real estate companies apart from the ones that you mentioned?
No, I did study about DLF and Signature Global.
Okay.
Which is also Keto. I didn't try.
Okay.
Though I've seen some news, but I didn't try that.
Understood. Let me ask Rajesh what he thinks about both Keystone Realtors, the latest development. Rajesh, Andheri West is the region where they have gotten into an agreement with 8 societies, as I remember it, for a gross development value of 3,000 crore rupees. It's a pretty prime area in Mumbai, and they have several other projects as well in the pipeline. So one, what do you make of that? And specifically on Prestige, if you've bought at levels of 1,611, can you anticipate a 15% compounded growth over the next few years?
See, Alex, real estate as a sector is has its own inherent risk of inventory or corporate governance or interest rate and all those things going forward. And with the kind of latest news flow coming in, that a lot of inventory has been started building up after a long period of time because of lack of buyers and a lot of premium projects coming up. So there is a little bit of concern, but the fact remains a lot of companies have gone for debt repayment in the last 4-5 years, and that's a very positive point for all these companies. The debt equity ratio, as Mr. Morley has pointed out, has gone down. So that's the very big fact. The second is RBI coming in and cutting down on interest rate massively, putting in liquidity. That's also a positive for the entire real estate fact, as such. Prestige State, it's doing well. Even Keystone is doing well, and with the recent development, they're going to do well in the next 2-3 years because these kind of projects take gestation period of 2-3 years. Even DLF, they have sold out their premium project in a few hours of their launch. That was a very positive news. But everything has already been discounted in these prices. I think major upside from these would be a very difficult task. One stock that comes to my mind at this point of time in the entire realty space, which is in a decent valuation, I would say, is AB Real Estate. That's Aditya Birla Real Estate, previously called Century Textile. Now they are fully into real estate development. Prior, sometimes back it was only a Worli project which they were doing. Now they are moved into Bangalore and other cities, doing very well. The Birla Estates, the subsidiary, they have very premium projects, and their realization is going to go up in the near future, I think. So with a target of around 3,000 odd rupees, I think AB Real Estate can give better returns if somebody is ready to hold for maybe 18 to 24 months.
So that's with regards to where these real estate companies stand. Our next question, in fact, our next caller, Vikas is calling in from Hyderabad. Vikas, hi, a very good morning to you. I believe you have a question on Gensol Engineering.
Yes, hi. Very good morning.
Good morning.
So actually I purchased Gensol Engineering at the price of 213.
Okay.
300 stocks.
Okay.
So from the last 2 days, again it is rising about 5%, 4.99%.
Yeah.
So can I hold it or should I sell it, stocks?
And when you bought Gensol Engineering, was it the charts that you bought or you saw the fundamentals of the company?
At the time of 3 months ago, I have purchased it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Vikas, got your... Okay. I got your question, Vikas. I'll take this up with Rajesh. Rajesh, with everything that's happened with this company, the entire saga, would you still recommend Vikas to continue to hold? Because he's bought it at 213 and the current price that it's trading at is 46.
See, if somebody asks purely on fundamentals, it's a sell from my side, because we all know the kind of story that unfolded in the company for the last 3-4 months or even ahead of that. Siphoning of funds, being very recommended to NCLT and all those things that happened, and that's not good news. It went from circuit to circuit, from highs of maybe around 400 odd rupees to 40 odd rupees, and now it's started from the last 2 days, started moving up. I don't know till when it will go up to on a higher circuit, but again, you never know when it will start moving into lower circuit also. That time your exit won't be possible. So it's your take when you want to book losses. Losses is for sure, I understand, because getting 213, I think it would be a Herculean task. So it's better to get out of this stock as soon as possible.
Today, when there are no sellers and only buyers, it's an so point well made, Rajesh. And further erosion in capital is not something that can be ruled out. All right, the next question is on Motilal Oswal, and Vikram from Bengaluru has got this question. His buy price is 677. And he's wondering whether to book profits and re-enter at lower levels, or would you add more at the current level? He points out that he is a long-term investor and want to have a stock from this sector or this space or this segment. Vaishali, on the charts, what would you make of it? He's holding with gains of about 52,000 or thereabouts.
So I would say long-term perspective, well, I think the stock is showing projections of upward targets of 1050 to 1200 levels. And in this sector, one can also look at Angel. So that also is showing a lot of strength. So I guess one should continue holding, because well, it is showing a lot of strength, but in between whipsaws cannot be ruled out.
Okay, so that's with regards to where Motilal Oswal stands, and hold is the view that Vaishali has. All right, our next caller, Bindu, is calling in from Hyderabad. Bindu, hi, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have 200 shares Afcon Fincha at 428.
Okay.
I want to hold for short term, like 1 or 2 months.
Okay.
Is it the right thing to add?
Okay, got your question. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Should I quit and should I enter into another sector?
Okay, got your question, Bindu. I'll take this up with Vaishali. Vaishali, not sure if you have enough data on the charts for Afcons Infra, do you?
Just have a look.
All right.
So Afcons are currently at 427 levels.
Right.
Well, there's nothing much. I mean, from whatever I have got, it's just been consolidating. I would say 410 acts as support and 450 acts as a resistance. So once we see the stock moving above that, we get a clarity that yes, it is on an upward trajectory towards 480 to 500 levels. That's all for now, right now.
Okay, so that's the view on Afcons India. The next question is on TVS Motor in focus on account of the auto sales data. And by the way, quite a few fundamental analysts looking favorably at TVS Motor, particularly because of the strides it has made in the electric vehicle space. But this is a shorter term question. It's coming in from Krishnan, who's writing in from Cochin. And he's bought at levels of 1,971. He's looking for an outlook for the next 6 months. Vaishali, on the charts, what are the prospects? He's in the green at this point.
So I would say continue holding because the stock is ready, showing signs of a breakout. It's just hovering around at the 2950 to 2850 levels. So either ways, if it goes to below 2850, please exit. Otherwise, continue holding. In all likelihood, if this goes above 2958, it gives a multi-time period breakout. So that would give you a target of 33 to 3400. So TVS Motors, according to me, is going pretty strong. Continue holding.
Okay, continue holding is a view on TVS Motor. Alex is calling us from Kerala. Very good morning, Alex. How can we help you?
Good morning, Alex. I have a query on GNFC.
Okay.
I am holding at 649. Why I bought this? I am looking at the intrinsic value. It's near the intrinsic value of my buying price. That's why it's trading far below the intrinsic value. And how is the outlook on the sectoral outlook on this chemical and fertilizer on back of this anti-dumping and this lower supply of from China? How is the sectoral view on the chemical and fertilizer?
Understood. I like that you've anticipated my question, Alex, and you've answered it before I asked. So kudos. That shows that you're watching and you're participating in the show regularly. Let me go to Rajesh on this. GNFC bought at 649, he says, because it is trading below its intrinsic value. I haven't looked at it, but do you agree?
Yes, I do agree that because we have also tracked this and it's trading at a huge discount to what its valuation should be. According to us, it should be above 800 odd levels. Just because it's a PSU, it doesn't get that kind of discounting. But the sector it is into, fertilizer and chemicals, both are doing well. Fertilizer, as we talked about, 105% of long-term average monsoon is there. So government's focus on rural and all, rural spending is going to go up. So we believe that fertilizer as a space is going to do well, and GNFC is a prominent player into that. And as far as chemicals is concerned, I think after a long period of time, chemical space as such has started moving up. So that is also a plus point. So I think one can continue to hold for a target of 800 plus odd levels into the next 12 to 18 months. And plus the fact remains that these companies give good dividends too. So you can at least have some amount of inflows coming in as dividends.
Okay, so that's with regards to where GNFC stands. The next question is on Eternal. Nikhat is writing in and wants to know, he's bought 40 odd shares at 267 a piece in August, wants to know if he can continue to hold or sell. Rajesh, I'll come to you on this one. The buying price is still slightly elevated as compared to where the stock stands right now. But last week it did see a gains of around 8%. But this week, I think since Monday, it's been seen in terms of profit booking. What is your view with respect to where Eternal stands, and with respect to how FY26 will fare for these platform companies?
See, we are not bullish on these stocks for a short term, be it Eternal or Swiggy, because of the fact that numbers have not been exciting, and that was because they were very aggressive on expanding their dark stores, and that took a toll on their last 2-3 quarter numbers. And we believe that going forward to in the next 2-3 quarters also, the way they are going to expand in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, the numbers are going to take a toll. So nothing exciting on the bottom line front. Plus, competition is heating up, be it Eternal, be it Swiggy. Now we have heard that Amazon and other players also coming in, not only in food delivery, but also into quick commerce space. Jio is also entering into quick commerce space. So competition is going to hurt up. Margins are on lower side, valuations are stretched. So at this point of time, we are not very bullish. At best, these can be taken as a good trading bets where you get swing highs and swing lows. So that would be a call, I would say. I would say if you have a trading position, then keep a stop loss of 240 and carry on with your position. Otherwise, fundamentally, we are not that excited.
Krishna from Hyderabad also has a question on this, and I'm pretty sure that is answered by this. I do want to point out, viewers, unfortunately, we've lost Vaishali's line on account of technical difficulty that we're facing, and so we're going to have to focus on fundamental questions that you have sent in and slightly longer term questions. But Sumit has written in asking about whether or not to purchase Amber at the current market price, and he is ready to invest or put in as much as 2 lakh rupees, but he's got a relatively short term outlook, just the next couple of months. What are the prospects like in that time frame? Rajesh, of course, I can't push you to give me a time and a price in that short a time frame, but what's the view?
See, basically these companies are doing very well. But this year, due to the shorter summer period, monsoon arrived early, and the entire pack is facing some issues because of that. The entire pack, be it AC companies or cold drink companies or others. From yesterday, we have seen these stocks started moving up again. We have seen traction in the entire pack of AC companies yesterday onwards. And I think this is going to continue for 2-3 more days. So maybe a target of 7,400, 7,500 quite possible in the next couple of weeks, if not days. So hold it that time. For a longer term horizon, it's better to book profits when it comes to around 7,500 odd levels and re-enter at lower levels when it cools down to maybe 6,500.
So that's with regards to where Amber Enterprises stands. That is just out of curiosity, anything in the EMS space that you're liking right now? A lot of analysts are suggesting and leaning towards Sirma right now.
Yes, we are also liking Sirma's SGS, because I was also going to tell that. Because other players are trading at a very stretched valuation. If you look at Dixon, trading at a PE of in 3 digits, although the company is very good with good product profile and all, but valuation doesn't give comfort. The only company which looks a little better is Sirma SGS, or the other one is PG Electroplast.
Okay, thank you for that view, Rajesh. All right, our next caller, Raghu, is calling in from Bengaluru. Raghu, hi, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Hi, good morning, Mahima. I hold a SJVN stock from last 10 months.
Okay.
Buying price is 132. Is it good time to average now, or hold, or exit?
Okay, got your question, Raghu. I'll take this up with Rajesh quickly. Rajesh, what's your view like? SJVN, should we average out at the current levels to continue to hold it?
Continue to hold, yes. Averaging, no. Because valuation has already discounted all the positives. A huge play on hydropower gives out good dividend, but around 9,800 odd levels, there's not much of upside left in the medium term. So for long-term horizon, continue to hold, but adding at this point of time won't be suggested. By any chance, for market conditions or whatever, it comes down to 90 odd levels, then you can think of adding.
Okay, the next question is from Ravi, who's writing in from Vijayawada. He wants to buy NTPC from a shorter term perspective. Rajesh, what's your view with regards to where NTPC stands? What are you expecting? How will Q1 fare for them?
We are very bullish on the power sector as such because of the power shortage and the government's focus on increasing power capacities and all. And NTPC being the largest player in power in our country, I think this is a very good play for long-term players. Gives out good dividend also, has holding in NTPC green, that's again a valuation positive. So it's a hold from our side. Somebody looking to add can even add.
And can even add NTPC at the current levels. All right. Our next caller, Gautam, is calling in from Vizag. Gautam, hi, a very good morning. How can we help you today?
Yeah, very good morning. I have purchased Adani Power shares, almost 800 shares at a price of 612 per unit.
Okay.
So I just want, and I would like to wait for another 6 months.
Okay.
So is it okay to hold or should I sell it off?
Okay, got your question, Gautam. Rajesh, what's your view on Adani Power?
It's a hold from our side. As I said, power as a piece is doing well. And again, Adani has got a huge capacity. The numbers have been good from the last 2-3 quarters. I think the numbers are going to be good in coming years too because of huge capacity, cost control, and the kind of demand which we are witnessing in the power. So it's a hold from our side. Maybe medium target would be around 650 odd rupees. But what I would suggest is try to hold for a longer term horizon.
Hold for the long term. By the way, a standard disclaimer, Adani Power is part of the Adani Group and so is NDTV Group, of which NDTV Profit is a part. We've got the next question from Sudhir Agarwal, who's writing in from the National Capital Region, and he's got 1,250 shares of Varun Beverages Limited, which he's bought at a price of 527 rupees. He says that he's invested in it for 2 years, considering its monopoly status in India and the recent entry of Campa Cola, or rather Reliance through Campa Cola. It seems to be a deterrent. Is that a real threat and should you hold on, is the question that he's asking. Rajesh, on the fundamentals therefore, what are the prospects?
It's a strong company, I would say. It's the largest bottler of Pepsi outside US. Doing very well not only in India but neighboring countries like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and other countries, Africa also. They have moved into non-carbonated drinks too, and that segment is also doing well. Volumes have gone up. This year, as I said, because of summer being a shorter period, the number might come a little subdued. But for longer term horizon, it's a good play to hold. As far as concerns about Campa Cola is concerned, I think it's just a matter of time when Campa is being sold at a huge discount to the other players. You get a 10 rupee Campa Cola 200 ml and there's a huge discount to other players. That's just a matter of time because ultimately they will also need to move their price upside. So this competition would be there for a short period of time. But as far as my understanding goes, but for a longer term horizon, Varun Beverages is a good play to hold.
Okay, so that's with regards to where Varun Beverages stands. Our next question, Darshan is calling from Bengaluru. Darshan, hi, a very good morning to you today. How can we help you?
Hi, ma'am. Good morning. My query is regarding BEL. It's trading at the all-time high, 428. I would like to know if it is a good time to enter for a short term, around 6 to 1 year, or wait for a correction or something.
Okay, got your question, Darshan. Rajesh, your quick view on BEL. Is this the right time to make an entry?
See, there is no right or wrong time in a stock market if the company is good because you never know. Tomorrow something might happen on a geopolitical side and market would fall. So you cannot time the market. If the company is good, if you're not comfortable with timing, go for a staggered way of buying. As far as Bharat Electronics is concerned, a very strong company. We have a buy call on this. Order book is good. New orders are coming in. They are going for new product launches. So I think in all, Bharat Electronics is a very strong company to hold for a long period of time. If not the entire lump sum, go for a staggered buy.
Got it. Rajesh, thanks so much for joining us, for answering all the questions you did today. Pleasure having you on the program. That brings us to the end of this edition of Ask Profit. It's been an absolute pleasure. From Mahima and myself and the team that put the show together, thank you so much for watching. Up next, as you know, is Know Your Company. So do stay tuned. This is NDTV Profit.
तू ही तो है जिसकी सच्चाई वाली क्लैरिटी की वजह से मैं आज यहाँ हूँ।
गोल्ड प्लस सिल्वॉक्सी मिरर्स, ऐसी क्लैरिटी कि आपको सिर्फ सच नजर आए, चाहे कितने भी साल बीत जाएं।
Imports become the exception rather than the norm, and increasingly we do almost last year, for example, of the contracts that we signed of record 2,09,000 crores, 81% was awarded to the domestic industry. Our intent is to manufacture in India, preferably with design also in India.
I am so elated to be on the same screen as the Defense Secretary, and I get a chance to talk about what he said.
In certain areas, like for example, artillery guns and armored vehicles, or in some categories of missiles like the BrahMos and the Akash, we've come of age.
What Defense Secretary Sir said is 100% true, and today private industry can really increase their involvement in R&D.
I am very proud to say that we make in our categories that we have been supplying to our defense forces some of the best platforms in the world.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insight